So I was born and raised in Cambridge. I graduated from Cambridge South Dorchester High, and I went to undergrad at Clemson in South Carolina, and then went to law school at University of Baltimore School of Law, where I focused in land use, environmental law, and commercial law, as well as some estate planning. And then following that, I moved back to Cambridge, back to the shore. And I've spent the better part of the last 20 years of my personal and professional and adult life um, doing the best I can as far as volunteering for different boards, serving on committees, and being part of events. I founded about 20 years ago the Kite Festival at Sailwinds Park. So I founded that, and I've been organizing that every year. I was the president, served on the board of Cambridge Main Street for a number of years, and that organization has been very near and dear to my heart. I've served on the Chamber of Commerce and was also the president of the Maryland Alzheimer's Association for many years. I've worked with a lot of aging and elderly clients for many years. I've given a lot of free clinics from a legal perspective here in Dorchester for Medicaid planning and estate planning. Done a lot of pro bono work with the Midshore Pro Bono Association. And I currently work for a national banking corporation, and I also teach at Salisbury University at the Purdue School of Business on an adjunct basis. Through my employer, I've been really trying to leverage a lot of different things for the community. We recently did the mural above Chesapeake College. We also did the new Christmas decorations, holiday decorations at the Choptank River Lighthouse, which is behind me somewhere, and also have organized the and been the primary donor towards the Dorchester Center for the Arts golf tournament each year. So that's another organization that I've worked with for many, many years. All of this sort of leads to why I chose to get involved with City Council. I've been working behind the scenes for many, many years with as part of a lot of different organizations that were sort of in the furtherance of the growth and economic development of Cambridge. And I've just really appreciated the opportunity for the last 2 years to serve on City Council and move the ball forward in a different way. And just want to continue the work we've been doing on the council. I think we've got a good start and good momentum going, but there's a lot left to do, as you know. Um, I had to move. I loved where I was living at Cambridge Landing, and it was a fantastic place. I was looking to ultimately own that place, but when the owner went um, to sell, I was currently renting it because I wasn't quite sure exactly where I wanted to live for more of a forever home. And so I had moved there and had lived there for almost 3 years. And, unfortunately, she said, I really got to take advantage of this good market. And she decided to sell. And she, to be perfectly honest, she sold it at a price that anybody would envy, but was certainly not something I was ready to pay for. Yeah. So I had to look in other directions, and I looked around, and it was important for me to find a good place to live for my family, and not necessarily where it was going to be in the different wards. I've moved a lot of times in my life, and it's unfortunate, but most people move on average now every 3 to 5 years, and I'm certainly one of them. I've moved around a fair amount, but it was unfortunate. I really enjoyed living there and in Ward 5. Simultaneous to that, Commissioner Roach was looking to purchase a home for his growing family. Had a great opportunity, actually, right in the same area where I moved from, not the same place. But so he bought there, and now we're by terms of the charter, we're we this special election was necessary. So it's unfortunate. It's certainly something I wish we could have avoided, but it is what it is. Um, that's a tough question. There had been some litigation about it in the past, more relating to um, demographics of each ward. So there has to be a sensitivity to that. From the standpoint of where it fits in sort of modern day Cambridge, it's a little more difficult to put a finger on it. We certainly wanted to have the discussion, and I think the discussion is warranted. What is what's the best system for Cambridge? Should there be potentially an at-large position on the council? I think I think intelligent people can agree and disagree. So I think that's definitely a discussion to be had. Our anybody looking at our sort of our ward layout, it doesn't make any sort of geographic sense. It's just sort of plunked down in there. So, and I like I say, I've lived in almost every ward of this city in my lifetime, and have enjoyed each and every one. So I don't see a lot of big differences there. I think probably my proudest thing that we've done, and that I can point to as having the most significant impact, would be the hiring of our city manager, Tom Carroll. We had a pretty exhaustive search, looking all over to find the best candidate, and myself and several others on the commission, on the council, lobbied very hard uh, for Tom once we saw all the different possibilities and the different candidates. And I think he's just done a phenomenal job. And with a good city manager, you can really do great things. And he's looked at one of our biggest priorities was really looking top to bottom at a lot of the redundancies within our city, a lot of the sort of waste that had been happening in a lot of different departments. Where could we tighten things up? And how could the things be restructured? Because in many ways, unfortunately, it was a very much a dysfunctional family there, with the relationship between the city manager, the former city manager, the mayor, the council, and the city staff. And it was paramount to us to really try to make that a cohesive relationship, and he's done great strides with that. Um, Same too with re-examining our city police department. We have a great new chief with Chief Todd. He's making some real substantive changes there, along with the city manager, and that's extremely important. And then I would say finally, we have focused on just years and years of neglect of our aging infrastructure, particularly here in Ward 1, of the water and sewer system that is just in dire need of repairs. And we're looking at almost 20 million in capital improvements over the course of several years, thankfully with some federal and state grant funding, some match on the part of the city. But it was beyond long since needed, because that entire system was failing. So I think those three priorities are, we've gotten a lot done in the last 2 years, but there's definitely a lot more that we want to see to the finish line, and tee it up for the next 5 to 10 years. it is extremely frustrating how long it takes to get some things done, and you want to take action on something, and a constituent comes to you with a problem, and you want to answer it, and you're as responsive as you can be, but sometimes the wheels of government move very, very slowly. And so enacting legislation can take a significant amount of time by law and by requirement. There's public hearings, and things need to happen in that way for a reason. So there's a certain amount of frustration there with how long it does take to get some things done. I think part two of that, prior to this most recent county council election, I would have liked to have had a more collaborative relationship with the county council. And there was a lot that we wanted to do, a lot we wanted to eliminate as far as some redundancies, some overlapping things. And unfortunately, they didn't have a county manager in place. They didn't have a very receptive county council in place. That's all changed. So we're really looking forward to, in the coming years, expanding and growing that relationship. When the city and county work together, there's a lot of great things that we can get done. And I can point to a lot of times in the past when there's been that collaborative relationship. So, that was disappointing. It wasn't for lack of the city council and us reaching out. But there was a certain level of frustration that, we couldn't even have the conversations that we wanted to.
Yeah.
I just encourage everybody always to stay positive. This is a great city. People talk about potential all the time. I get tired of that sort of old saw because we always know it has potential, but it's realizing that potential. And so I just say keep an open mind on all of the issues that we face. Stay involved and stay in tune to all of that. We try to be as open and as transparent about all of our meetings, and we post things on social media and online and everywhere we can. And I want to make sure to be as responsive and receptive to everybody's questions. So just stay positive, and let's all work towards the same direction of making this a better city, because that's what we all want.
Yeah. Great way to end it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I care.